Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, Sami.
Should this be a welcoming news?
Yes, this is a progressive news from the Minister of Education. It shows that he understands the challenges that is facing in his ministry and is ready to embark on measures that would not yield an instant result but progressively solve the problem that have engulfed the secondary education system over the years.
In upgrading, it comes with infrastructure in the rest. And so if government wants to upgrade, it means totally an infrastructure change. Is that it?
Yes, there are basically four variables that are used to categorize a school. Now, these variables are WASI performance, infrastructure, the next one is teaching quality, and then we have demand or preference for the school when it comes to school placement. There are other mini variables like performance in co-curricular activities, discipline, and so and so. But these four variables are important. Now, I think that two of them are policy variables. So, infrastructure and teaching quality are policy variables. If you're able to touch them, you are improving WASI and you are improving demand and preferences. So, if you listen to the minister, he's talking about providing infrastructure and providing teaching and learning resources in the 10 schools that they are trying to work on. It means that if they touch these two variables, over a period, WASI performance would improve. And when WASI performance improves, parents and students would naturally select or have preference for that particular school. So the minister is in the right direction. It's not sometimes going to be an event, but if we are able to do this consistently for the 4 years that this government will be in power, we'll be able to transform most of our secondary schools to a higher level category that would attract the kind of selection that we all want. And in doing that, we are going to reduce the pressure on the already existing category A schools that everybody wants to attend.
In terms of the period of time, what time frame can this be done?
For me, if this is a policy priority for the minister and he's doing 10 schools next year and he's like to do 10 schools for the next 4 years, it means that by the time he leaves office as the Minister of Education, he might have converted 40 category B schools to category A. Add that to the already 88 that we have. We are headed towards 150. We have added almost, 130, sorry. We have added almost, 40 schools to the already existing 88 schools. And that means that more avenues will be available for those who perform well and want to be in category A schools. Remember, he's also saying that they are going to improve the infrastructure in existing category A schools. So we'll be able to do this within the period that they are in power if it's a policy priority and they are committed to putting funds there.
Will this help address, or will this be the only solution in addressing the placement challenge that we've seen in recent time?
Not at all. This is a step in the good direction. We will need to do other things too. The other conversation we had the other time, I said that we need to also look at the model of school selection. We have to have a situation whereby students have an idea of their performance before they select the schools. That is the next stage of advocacy that we will need to pursue, because we don't want to repeat this. We don't want to see these challenges happening in 2026. I think that is what progressive societies do. We have a problem this year, we work towards it and ensure that by the next year there is a massive improvement. So the first position of the minister is welcoming. I think during our last conversation I made mention of that. They want to adopt it. That is a welcoming news. We need to also push further so that schools are selected when students know their performance. When that is also done, we will be able to reduce the challenges for the school placement and then continue with the other interventions that we are already doing. Look at the whole software itself. Look at the sensitization process. And I think that next year we should not have these queues. Today I realize I think your platform published that there are a number of parents at the NATO still waiting for their school, their awards to get
Yeah.
This should not happen. This should not happen again in 2026. And I hope that the minister is focus on trying to ensure that this doesn't happen, and that's why he has taken the first step.
And the parents who are still at the nut hall, what can be done? Should they kiss their hopes goodbye?
Well, I think that the DES and the school placement people are saying they will be able to assist all of them. For me, my position is that nobody should blame a parent who wants a good school for the ward. Everybody would want a good school for the ward, so nobody should put the blame at the doorstep of the parents. I think the system is not being fair to some of the parents, and we need to ensure that those who have the power to provide quality education, ensure that all schools are providing quality education, are on their toes and they are working towards that. So the parents there should try their best, whatever outcome they get, fine. But going into 2026, we shouldn't have this happening again.
It is the hope and expectation that we don't see, what we are seeing again. But then finally, before
in fact, if it happens again, then we would say that the ministry have failed, and those who are heading the computer placement system should resign. If it happens again under their watch, they should get ready to resign.
But Stephen, this is something we've seen over the years. The last time we had a conversation, I read to you a number of online publications from City Newsroom on this same issue, and there are many who have also said that if we don't change the structure, we may want to see the same thing repeat itself. But then your proposal that indeed we should have the students select their schools after the examination, is this something the ministry will buy? Is this something the stakeholders in the education sector will want to go by?
I think that it's something that they will need to pursue. I know that there are a lot of conversations that are going to happen after the placement is over, and we'll continue to engage and see whether, even if we don't do that, we'll be able to pilot and see how, with certain schools, and see how it goes. But I think I'm convinced in my mind that 80% of the problem would be addressed if you are able to change the model of school selection. And of course, if you are the new head of SHSs and you have experienced this year, and you still want to hold your position, and next year we are still going to have this experience, then it means that you couldn't bring anything on board. And for me, that is enough for you to be sacked.
Doc, I say a big thank you for your time as always. Thank you very much. Dr. Peter Intis, Executive Director of the Institute of Education.